Hello and welcome to another episode of Binding Roll, where we play Pathfinder 2nd Edition in the world of the Ninth Age. If you are unfamiliar with the Ninth Age, it is a rank and flank strategy war game that I play all the time and this YouTube channel is dedicated to. If you are unfamiliar with the Ninth Age, I encourage you to click the link in the description below. It'll take you directly to the website. It is a community-built game, so it is completely free and you can use any model you want to play the game. It's pretty awesome and I really enjoy it. I highly encourage you to check it out. But today we're playing Pathfinder 2nd Edition in the world of the Ninth Age. So this is a homebrew. We are using Foundry VTT as our virtual tabletop. And just so you, the viewer, knows, if you hit that subscribe button on YouTube, you will be giving the players a heroic roll, which is basically a re-roll of the dice, and it also saves them when they go down and become unconscious. So that if you want to help out the players in this stream, please hit that subscribe button in YouTube. We're still working on Twitch. We're still having some problems streaming there, but eventually we'll be back on Twitch, I promise. And then, as always, guys, please hit the that subscribe button, but also please jump on Discord. We have a Discord server where you can talk with us about anything you want. You could also follow me or follow us on Twitter, where we I just post anything you need to know about what's happening with the channel. That's coming through there. We please join the whole ecosystem. We really appreciate it, and then we have a really fun, good time doing this. But we are playing Pathfinder. We'll get to the players, and as always, I need to jump to the intro video. So enjoy. Well, hello everyone. Welcome back. We are on episode 2. I want to go ahead and apologize about last week. I was under the weather and I could not GM the group because I was hacking up a lung, basically. So apologies for that about last week. But before we get into it, you guys know it's the same question every time. What you drinking? I am still on my non-alcoholic kick, so my friend actually picked up for me some non-alcoholic beer. Al's non-alcoholic. This is from a brewery in, I don't even know what brewery it is. Drinkles is the name of the brewery. In Waunakee, Wisconsin. Let's give it a shot. But anyway, Carlin, what you drinking? Oh, I can't hear you, Carlin. Can you guys hear him?
No, he's muted.
Nope, not hearing anything. Okay, we'll come back to Carlin. Jed, what you drinking?
It's just a repeat of last time. Still working through these Rogue Honey Kolsch. Pretty good stuff, though.
Oh, there you go. Carlin's back. What you drinking?
All right, no idea what happened. Discord's being weird. So I'm on the classic 801 Pilsner from Uinta Brewing in Salt Lake City. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers. Belgux, what you drinking?
Dihydrogen monoxide, as prescribed.
Whoa.
You
You
smart.
know, they say everybody who drinks that dies.
Yeah.
Eventually.
Oh, that's worth
Eventually it'll kill
Eventually.
Let's see here. Octavia, what are you drinking?
Just GNT Good old
G&T.
classic.
You I feel like you've
I
really
like
been
it.
on a G&T kick.
Well, I have about 40 gins in my house right now, so I got to get through them somehow.
Gotta
Yeah.
burn through all. You know?
A slow burn all through all that alcohol. So,
Not a bad problem to have.
yeah, true. A quick recap of last episode. These 4 characters found themselves on the Iron Road in the Blasted Plains, the land of the Infernal Dwarves, or the Dwarves of the East. And they both, for different reasons, are on this train to eventually make it to Zalaman Takesh, which is the what am I trying to say? The capital or the main city-state of the Blasted Plains. As you were on the train, you were meeting the fellow people on the travelers. It's a sparsely populated train, but in between the Gulf of Tears and which is the city of Besheb Kegnar, where you boarded the train, and Nedzid, your first destination on the train. One of the passengers, Marzuk, one of the infernal dwarves, actually in the luxury cabin, explained to everyone that her dice, her valuable dice of Lugar, were stolen, and at the same time, you heard footsteps along the top of the train. All of you went up there and took care of an ogre and 2 goblins that were running over the top of the train. But the Lugar's dice were not with them. And then at the end of last episode, the train was halted, and in front of the train, the tracks were destroyed and bent up. And in that space where the tracks were bent up was a pit full of dead bodies. Like a big pit, 8 feet across, 5 feet deep, pit full of dead bodies. And I'm gonna retroactively change one thing. I think I said they were human bodies before. I was incorrect. They are ogre and goblin bodies in the pit. Also, between last session and now, I gave all of the players a little more information about their backstory and what they're exactly doing here. That might lead into situations in the future, but mainly I gave them all the contracts that they are bound by at this point. What the contracts were for their current jobs. I think we'll just role play it. If you guys want to share that information, you can. If you don't, that is fine also. So, what would y'all like to do?
We're standing in front of the train, right? Looking at this disgusting sight.
Yep. And actually, matter of fact, I want a little more exposition. So one thing happens while you're up there. The head of the train is this, giant. It looks like a monster to you guys because you don't know what a steam engine looks like. But basically, it's a giant, glowing, moving, breathing steam engine that causes noise and sound and light to come out of it. And as you're up there looking at this pit, you hear like a creak, like and a door open from the side, and 2 individuals pop out. The first is an infernal dwarf, but heavily adorned with rusty, not quite armor, but like equipment. A collar of iron, almost like a goggles, and his face is smeared with soot. And he pops out, and he looks at what's in front of him. He says, another damn break in the Iron Road. This just keeps happening. Come on. Brongus, let's go. And behind him, an ogre, a full-size ogre, squeezes himself outside of a dwarf-sized door. So it takes him a minute to get through. But This ogres, you know, they normally look a little slow. Brongus looks especially slow. He's a little. There's not a lot of expression on his face. He kind of just like, oh, okay. And he follows. Let's call him the conductor to the head of the train.
Mr. Conductor.
It's Mr. Conductor to you, sir.
I was just listening to George Carlin the other day. So.
And as the conductor heads over and kind of comes to the edge of the pit and looks at you guys kind of dismissively, and then he looks at the pit and he kind of waves at Brongus. Brongus kind of lops over and he starts to climb down and he says, "Oh, don't you know? This is one big pit here, yeah? This is lots of bodies, you know, this happens all the time. I don't know what to do."
Blasted Lands, Fargo.
I mean, is North Dakota not the blasted lands of our own country?
Yeah.
No offense to anybody from North Dakota. You're probably not watching. 2, I've never actually been there, so just ignore me. But actual game question, do we hear all of this exchange? Like, hey, this keeps happening.
Yeah,
so on
all
and so
the
forth?
words I'm speaking out loud, you definitely you guys hear. He says, "I'll get to work on clearing out these bodies and getting the that old iron road back to the straight and narrow, if you know what I mean, Mister and Conductor." Oh yeah, jolly good, eh?
Does the ogre seem at all disturbed or fazed by the fact that other ogres are dead in the pit here?
No, he doesn't.
He's just
Actually,
like,
let's do our first roll of the session. I want you to do a. So in Pathfinder, it's called a recall knowledge check. It's basically for you to, and you guys can do this anytime you want. You can say, "I want to do a recall knowledge check," and it's basically exposition. I can fill you in on information you know, and it's a roll or any information about the world and in this situation. And you guys can, or basically I choose which statistic you guys roll on. There's not one specific skill that you roll on for recall knowledge. So let me see here.
You just want us to roll a d20 and you figure it out?
No. If you go into your character sheet and go into proficiencies, and
Yeah.
It's a
you
little
can
hand icon.
get the little hand icon along the top. And I'm gonna say I need Jed to give me a society roll. That was a total of a 13. I think that's enough. You definitely understand. You know that ogres. There's the great ogre cons of the mountains to the east. There are nations there. It's a nomadic culture. It's a culture around the strongest and biggest ogre leads the group. But also the strong characteristic of ogres is that they are motivated by, money. So there's a lot of ogre mercenaries out there. An ogre mercenary is a very common thing. To go away from their own culture and live in other cultures and do work.
Alright, so he's just kind of, I didn't choose this life chose me kind of guy.
A lonesome man on the road alone.
Do these bodies look fresh, decayed? What kind of time frame are we looking at here?
Yeah, give me a
These are,
perception. Give me a perception check.
incensed. Right. Where's that damn button here?
Also, feel free to use your investigator skills. You have like special investigator stuff. That is an 11. Okay, so these bodies are definitely fresh. They are fresh. They are mainly ogres and goblins, and they look to have been killed from the circumstances of battle. You know, they've been, throats have been cut, arms cut off, wounds that are from weapons on these bodies, but they are all deceased.
Does the hole appear to have been dug, or is it like an impact crater? Like,
No, it's definitely dug.
okay.
Oh, quick note, guys. Warrior Womp is in the chat. Warrior Womp has arrived.
Yeah, we're on.
Also, Bridget's in here with us. Thank you for joining us, Bridget.
Welcome to you both. Good to have you, as always.
All right, so this is kind of going to happen, I guess, as other people are doing their thing. But I'm going to spend a minute or two to use my pursue a lead ability and to kind of try to investigate one of these bodies and see if I can determine how they died. Were they died like fighting? Were they executed? Something of that nature. So I can tell like how this all went down.
So you're using the investigate a lead skill. Oh no, I'm looking at the.
Yeah. Well, it's called on the case. Pursue a lead. So
Oh, I
like
see.
An enhanced perception check that gives me some additional insight if I can devote enough time to it and pass.
Okay, so give me that perception check.
Jed is on the case.
On the case.
Oh.
Ooh,
That's whew, okay. So you
that is a
spend.
beautiful roll.
That is a beautiful roll. You spend the next approximately 10 to 15 minutes looking at this this pit, these bodies, and the surrounding area. You conclude a large number of bodies or people. You don't know who or what they are, but there are a large number of individuals built this. They were moving from the west. I'm sorry, moving from the east. They caused this pit that caused the damage to the steel road, and they continued to move west. At least 50 plus individuals. There's footprints, there's commotion, you know, plants have been stomped down, all that good stuff. Also, through your investigation of the dead bodies, you notice something a little disturbing. While the bodies are dead, there's like there's movement inside the bodies.
Oh, great.
And I need all three of you to do a recall knowledge on... Ooh, this is a good question. Nature. A recall knowledge nature check.
Ooh. Oh, I didn't switch over to my dice cam. And now my straw is blocking the way. So, 21.
Hold on one second. Dice so nice. Area. I just want to fix this really quick so everyone can see the dice rolls we make.
Yeah.
Apply. Save changes. Okay. What were the highest rolls for everyone?
I got a 20.
21.
Unnatural.
All right. So, Octavia. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna say, Octavia, you don't know this information. There's no reason why you would know this. But you just straight up don't know this information. But Jed, you are familiar with the biology of orcs. This is what's called an orc pit. This is how orcs reproduce.
Oh, avert your eyes.
The Warborn, or orcs, they're kind of... Warborn refers to both orcs and goblins. But orcs gather into groups and move continuously and cause destruction. When they cause destruction, the bodies of the people they kill, they build these pits every once in a while They put all the bodies in there, and then new orcs grow out of it. And then those new orcs try to catch up with the group, with the rest of the Warborn. And it's this continually moving and growing army, basically.
Wow. The more you know.
As you're doing this investigating, Brongus is in the pit, like stomping on bodies, and you see him. He's killing the baby, the orc fetuses, for lack of a better word. And you see also as he's doing this, he's taking arms and pieces of the dead bodies, and just biting them like chewing them and swallowing, eating them right off the bone, raw, both goblin and ogre meat.
Wow.
Hey, when you're hungry, you're hungry.
That's one way to look at it. Yeah.
and you hear Brongus say underneath his breath, like, "Oh, don't you know that's some good goblin meat there, eh? Yeah."
All right. Well, I think I've learned all I can from this.
Or at least all you want to.
All I want.
So, moving away from that absolutely dream-haunting scene, I would like to go up to the conductor and ask him a couple questions. So, Mr. Conductor, sir, you said that this is something that's been happening frequently. Can you tell me a little bit more about the other experiences like this that you've had?
He answers you, but he's pretty dismissive. He doesn't look at you. He just continues to kind of put his hands on his hips and look over into the pit, and he says, "Yeah, Warborn are common in this parts of the land. They keep popping up there and then, and we keep putting them down. But they keep doing damage to these, to the steel road. Don't you worry, though. Don't you worry your little head there. We're used to this. We have the tools to fix it, and Brongus is he's got a strong back and strong arms. He'll get the job done. It won't be more than 4 or 5 hours for us to get this fixed up. But now that you mention it, recently there's been more and more Warborn activity, and they all keep moving west toward the Sea of Thirst.
Interesting. And now, would you say that this is just along this sort of southern edge of the steel road, or is it all around?
Oh, it happens. It's always happened all over the steel road, but it's happening more here between Bashib Kegnet and Nedzid.
Well, that's certainly concerning. Is there any way that we, as a group of stout adventurers that just, killed an ogre and some goblins, might be able to help?
Give me... So, in 5th edition, I'd say a persuasion check. But...
Diplomacy?
I think it's going to be a diplomacy. Let me just look at this really quick.
That probably makes the most sense.
Yeah, give me a diplomacy check. Ooh.
A nice dirty 20.
So you see him pause for a minute. You see him kind of over the top of his goggles. You see his left eyebrow kind of lift up for a little bit. And you're like, He looks at you and he says, yeah, if you can hunt down these, this Warborn group, yeah, I can make it worth your while. Maybe even if you could bring a few of them back, for us to take into Nedzed and maybe trade a little bit for them, that'd be great.
I hate to interject, but can you maybe clarify the small matter of, well, we can't leave the train technically via our contract we've signed with so-and-so and who. How binding are we talking here, Mr. Conductor?
Yeah, contracts. I forgot about that. Let me see your contract.
I hand
And-
my beautiful, pristine paper in a glass case.
I would love to read out the contract for Jed and Carlin between the Empire of Sonstal and the Infernal Dwarves of Zalaman Takesh. So this is pretty short. I'm just going to read it out really quick. The city of Zalaman Takesh is to provide passage for Carlin Vogel and Jedediah Fletcher on the Steel Road from Bashib Kegnet, as well as a return travel upon request. They are not permitted to depart the train until arrival at Zalaman Takesh, and on the return journey not permitted to leave the train until the arrival at Bashib Kegnet. They will be provided lodging and food for both train travels. They will be provided lodging and food for no more than 1 month in Zalaman Takesh. They are required to attend 3 official city functions where the city's overlord is present and needs to be witnessed by their handler, who is to be named upon their arrival at Zalaman Takesh. They will be afforded complete access to Zalaman Takesh's governmental archives for the period of 1 month after their arrival. Any property damage, loss of infernal dwarf life, failure to depart from Zalaman Takesh within 1 month of arrival, and or failure to attend 3 official city functions will cause the contract to be void. Wow, I just blanked. Jed and Carlin will be responsible for any monetary loss or any loss to third parties, and will be subject to the laws and punishment of Asharuk and Shamut. That is the contract they have. The conductor says, yes, I see you're under a pretty steep contract, a pretty set in stone contract with the city of Zalaman, but you know, if you're under 2 contracts, and he pulls out a sheet of paper, there can be exceptions.
An addendum, you say?
Yes, an addendum.
Oh, well, here we go. Contracts on contracts.
And he begins scrawling on a piece of paper, and he basically says, the two humans from the Empire of Sonstal, the Goblin, and the Pony Pegasus will be paid, and then there's a blank spot, upon the return of each head of orc.
Paid in exposure.
It's like lettuce, heads of orc.
Heads of orc.
I hear that's good eating.
For some people.
Based on the last 5 minutes, I mean.
And let's see.
I can't do that. My job is to get this flying furry thing over to Zalaman Takesh. Can't risk having him wander off.
What if we make him promise to not wander off?
You
Yeah.
both are gearing towards a kicking. FYI.
I'm on your side.
She.
My bad.
Flying furry thing.
I don't know that
You
we
got
knew that
contagious.
yet, to be fair.
It was mentioned yesterday.
Okay, keep going. The conductor says, okay, and he scratches out the Goblin and the Pony Pegasus off the contract. And he says, "I'll pay you 1 gold for each orc head."
Gold doesn't go as far as it used to. I was thinking more like 10. That seems to be a good bounty rate, at least from my experience as a bounty hunter.
All right, give me a diplomacy check.
I'm gonna do one better. I'm gonna do.
Or is that a deception check?
No, this is negotiation. What would it be under?
I'm gonna do a pointed question.
Okay.
Where basically it's an opposed roll, where I do a diplomacy check and the opponent does a will check, and I basically try to like tease out from them, and they literally can't lie if I succeed. What a fair rate in this region would be for orc head recovery.
Okay.
If you're game. I appreciate the offer, Mr. Conductor. I understand that you probably have a lot of expenses on this train. But I feel like maybe a little more would be due for the risk we're taking on. I would say 10 gold per head sounds fair.
Ooh.
Damn it.
Hey, could still fail.
Oh.
Let's roll.
So you both rolled 6, but you don't know what this guy's modifier is.
Ah.
And what his answer is, I see you're a shrewd man, and you caught me. I was trying to take advantage of you. I'm sorry. But man's got to do what man's got to do to make an extra little coin, if you know what I mean. You're right. The average coin in bulk for taking 1 orc head is 5 gold in the city of Nedzid.
All right. What do you think, Harlan? 5 each good for you?
Sure. Yeah. I'm always down to slay some evildoers in the name of Suna. And
hey, follower of Suna. I need these orcs alive. They have no value to me dead.
Well, thank you for clarifying, because you did say heads.
It has a head. I want it still attached to the body, but yeah, it has a head.
Well, again, I'm glad we're being specific. This is good. This is very good.
Okay.
I think I can do that. Maybe some wastage, so to speak, of the other ones we do kill, but I think we can bring back at least a couple of them alive.
Actually, hold on. Let me. I was rolling that as the viewer. What if I roll a dice as the GM? Does that show up on your screen? Oh, it does. Yeah.
D8.
Yep.
Yeah. Interesting.
But you can make it not a public roll, I assume.
Yeah, I just don't know how.
That's the spirit.
The drop down. You can make it a private GM roll.
Oh, I see. Here we go. You're right. Private GM roll.
I have no idea what blind GM roll means, but that's
Even the
Yeah.
GM doesn't know.
Nobody knows.
All right. At this time, you hear a voice behind you, and it's the voice of. Where are you? The voice of Marzook, the infernal dwarf woman who had the 3 children with her, and you're she's hanging out one of the window of the VIP car, which is the second car in the train, and she says, "I'll sweeten the pot if you get my dice. If you guys are looking for more gold, I want my dice back. Those damn orcs took my dice."
All right. We will definitely keep our eyes open.
Very good. And she pops back into the train. And you hear the kids, like, you can hear the kids faintly in the background being like, why are we going? Are we there yet? Gosh. And you hear Marzook's like, quiet. God damn it.
Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet?
Is this Octavia saying that?
No,
Just start
This was-
mocking children.
this was a Simpsons
I'm into it.
reference. No,
Yeah.
no. Octavia thus far has not spoken during this interaction.
Fair enough. Well, and I will point at Belgux and Octavia and say, well, this is your last chance. You may join us and get a little bit of a cut on some of this, as I'll look towards the conductor. As subcontractors of our own, don't you worry about adding their names to the contract. But we will cut you in on it if you agree to help us. Or you can stay here with the pit, which is nice.
You'd mentioned that they'd gone west, right, towards the
Yes.
Sea of Thirst.
So if you look on the map, they have
I'm just gonna start walking that direction.
Okay.
Like,
That's
Like-
an I'm in if I've ever heard one.
God damn it! Now I'm gonna start running after
hold on, let me.
the furry flying thing.
Can you
trying to
see
catch
the
it.
can you see the arrow I just drew? There we go on the map. There you
yes,
go. That's the way they
Yeah.
walk.
I'm just gonna
Damn it.
start.
I need to get this damn
I'm
thing back in the cage.
I'm specifically gonna like fly over the pit because I can.
Yeah, sure.
Like,
Well,
It is-
goblin friend, you know the old saying, once you get the pony Pegasus out of the cage, there's no putting it back in again.
The age-old saying.
Exactly. And then I will also start walking.
Okay. As you're walking away, you hear Brungus in the pit kind of singing to himself, and he says, "Oh, take me home, Iron Road, to the place where I belong.
Nice.
Blasted
Nice.
plains." It fades off into the background. Okay.
it was
I
good
will-
drawing the spot.
I will yell
That
back
was good.
real fast. Oh, and you won't be leaving for another 4 or 5 hours, correct? To the conductor.
At least.
The conductor stops and says, when the Iron Road's fixed, we move along. I'm on a timetable here, my friend.
We got that in writing.
The only thing on the
You
contract,
should have indeed.
the only thing in the contract says you get 5 gold for every head of orc
In perpetuity.
in perpetuity. I need to brush up on my legal terms to do all these contracts.
I think you do, yeah. All right, well, we better be fast. Or maybe break the tracks a little ways down once we're out of eyesight. To buy us more time.
All right, so I need all 3 of you to take a nature check. All 4 of you, not 3 of you.
I'm clearly too busy avoiding somebody trying to capture me.
Not 1 for
To be paying
Octavia,
attention.
but Belgux and Carlin both rolled 19s, Jed a 12. So you follow these tracks, and they're pretty they're pretty easy to follow. This is a wide swath of trampled vegetation, footprints. It's a pretty clear path directly west, leading toward let's call it, well, after about an hour of walking, you see just over the next rise, the sun. This was all at night. The sun is starting to rise now. The light from behind you is slowly starting to illuminate the skyline. And above a small rise, you see just like the thin line of 4 campfires.
All right. Well, I guess my thought of perhaps capturing a straggler or two seems out of possibility. Is anyone stealthy who could potentially do some reconnaissance for us? Because I am not. And as I'm talking, I'm like clanking and
A metal can that you are, yeah.
yes, that.
Yeah, I usually take a more direct approach, so no, sorry.
So hopefully this works out.
What you rolling there?
Okay, so that is a 23 on stealth to just kind of start sneaking towards the camps.
Wait,
Okay.
where did the pony go?
I think we hit our episode title there. Wait, where did the pony go? Octavia, you start kind of a trot, a small trot, while giving yourself a little bit less weight by kind of hovering with your wings. You go up kind of along the right side of this rise, and as you peer over, hiding behind a little, some scraggly bushes, you see a band of roughly 20, let's call it 24 orcs. All of them are awake. They're all standing up in a big circle around 3 different campfires, and these are like, you see, like it's like an overturned cart just lit on fire. It's not like a campfire and like when we go camping.
It's a bonfire.
Yeah, it's a bonfire. I'd call it that.
It's like half bonfire, half arson.
Exactly.
I mean,
Yeah.
depending on how you build the bonfire, it's sometimes always arson.
It's true. It's a fine line.
Yeah.
Also, welcome to Peter in the chat.
I was just
up,
gonna
man?
say welcome to Peter. You stole my line. Welcome, Peter.
Hey, man. Just gotta be on your toes.
So, you notice a few things, because you rolled a total of what, 23 or 24?
23. 16 plus 7.
Okay. You notice a few things. One, in the center of this circle of orcs, they are basically wrestling, it's like orc fight club. Like they're all cheering on 2 guys that are fighting in the center.
Do I need to follow the rules of Fight Club for this?
We don't talk about Fight Club. Orc Fight Club.
Well, I checked it out, but I can't tell you guys anything about it. So you have to look for yourselves.
There are rules.
They're
I don't make them.
standing next to the 2 orcs that are fighting. These are orcs with light green skin, just loincloths on, shreds of clothing, not much, and they're just full on grappling with each other, like Greco-Roman wrestling kind of thing.
I was thinking sumo, but
Yeah.
sure.
And standing to the side, there is one orc which is like stands a foot taller than all the other orcs. Dark green skin, lots of armor, like an armor that's like knick-knack together, like not knick-knack, but like strapped together. That you see symbols from the Empire of Sonstal, you see symbols of infernal dwarves. It's just armor that's been morphed to his body or edited to his body, and he is standing quietly and still. He's like the only figure standing still in this whole group, and he's standing there watching them fight. And the last thing you notice is just outside the circle, on the far side of where you are, you see 3 goblins sitting on a log, or a cut down log, observing what's happening, calmly chatting with each other.
I feel like that's the start of a goblin version of that old nursery rhyme song thing.
3 goblins on a log.
Yeah,
I don't know that one.
it's something about frogs and a log, and I don't remember I was trying to remember it and I couldn't, but you know, it's just what I thought of. Okay.
And just this is a reference for all 4 of you. He said, the conductor said it would take him, what did I say, 4 or 5 hours to repair the tracks. It is, it's taking you 1 hour to get where you are now.
I thought you were gonna say we see the train going by on the tracks in the distance.
Bye, suckers!
You are an asshole.
Okay, well, I guess I will make my way back. I mean, I think I've seen all that I can. And if time is of the essence.
So you go back, do you explain this to everyone? Or what do you say?
How soft is the ground? Like, could you conceivably draw in it?
Yeah, so that's actually I neglected to mention kind of the natural environment here. Where you are is kind of not like desert, like sand desert, but like high plains desert. You know, the western United States desert, where it's tumbleweeds, maybe a cactus or 2, dry earth, but solid, you can walk on. You notice that continues to the north. That topography continues to the north. To the south, you can see the topography changes a little bit to more of a sand desert. And actually, let me do a little effect here. Hold on, watch this. If you look at behind, oh, you can barely see it. Hold on.
Barely
There.
see it, yeah.
There. That's what the south looks like.
Nice.
It doesn't look. There's not a whole lot you can see there, but the sand, big sand dunes, less vegetation.
So it's going from like Joshua Tree to Sahara.
Yeah. Roughly.
Right.
Okay. Cool.
Those are high budget effects, Swamp Swimmer.
I know. Look, my effects budget went up in this episode, so don't worry.
It's all that beer sponsorship money.
Oh, if only. Okay, yeah. So, I'm not gonna explain it so much as I'm gonna draw it.
How do you draw this?
Mostly stick figures. One of them being quite a bit bigger than the other. I'll actually like write out the number 24, but like it's just gonna be like with my hoof.
Wow. Okay, so this, I don't even know what this would be. Can you, you can't do,
Performance.
yeah, is there a performance on here?
There is,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, there is. I need Octavia to do a performance check. And then I need everyone else to roll an intelligence check to see if, yeah, comprehend what's going on here.
Okay, that's gonna be a 14. It's not bad. Again, switch over to dice so you can see. I really need to find a better place for my cup. So 12 plus 2.
Yeah, Belgux rolled 16, 18. Carlin, did you roll?
No, how do you do just a straight like int check?
Ju-
Do
I
it
did it manually. Yeah, I
Okay,
did manually
gotcha.
plus the modifier.
Well, I guess it's a +0, so that's fine.
11, yeah. You guys get the basic picture. There's 24 orcs over the rise. They're all in a circle. They're fighting.
there's one big
Guys.
one.
And there's
You
one big
guys
one.
plan on capturing all of these guys alive?
Yeah, you go first.
I think the idea was just as
I didn't
many as
sign
we
up for this
could,
shit.
right?
And Belgux, I need you to do a recall knowledge check on society.
Okay. Rolling. Yeah. 9.
9 total. Okay. Of course, you are a goblin, but you were not raised in goblin society.
Correct.
So you understand, but you understand a little bit. You understand about orcs and the relationship that goblins have to orcs. They're very much like a symbiotic relationship. But you also understand that orcs respond to strength, and orcs are not completely feral creatures. You can parlay with them.
The mission is to bring back as many of these in chains back to the train, right?
Yes.
Never said chain, just bring
Yeah,
them
I don't
back.
think we have any chains.
All right, bring
so-
it right. Fine, bring them back alive.
Yeah,
Whatever,
bring them
so,
back chasing
I
us.
guess if we could convince, yeah, or convince them that
We could
there's
almost certainly do that.
a bunch of sweets on the
Here's
train.
50
and-
orcs.
Oh, 24. Close, but you know.
And then the big guy.
Yes, that does seem like a few too many for us to try to capture one or two, or even, a handful, especially if we can't bring them back dead.
Well, if one of you is feeling up for dueling the big guy, you may be able to win leadership over this group. That's one option. So you don't have to fight all of them, just the big one. Just one guy. Anybody got
Just
one?
one big orc, which is
Yeah.
no small feat.
Better than fighting all 24 of them at the same time.
Yes, but not as good as not having to fight any of them.
Real
Um,
quick, Jim. While this conversation is going on, can I get my throwing knives set up?
You can definitely do that.
Okay. All right. That is what I am doing.
Oh no, hold on. Oh, there it goes. Okay. Whew. I was right about to be a little scared here. I was trying to go through the bestiary portion of Foundry VTT and it wasn't loading. I'm like, oh no. We. Okay, continue.
Well, gentlemen, you're not looking for a fight. Shall we withdraw and try to make money some other way?
Well, we do all have jobs. I mean, this was kind of just a side quest, as they call it.
Yes.
So,
Did you happen to see any orcs playing a game of dice by chance?
Just a shake of the head.
well, I'm not entirely opposed to challenging the big one. I'm also still a little beat up from the fight we had earlier. Don't want to burn all of my healing on that.
As you're talking about this, you hear a rise of excitement from over the ledge, and like you hear like cheering and like rah, rah! And you hear one singular orc voice be like, "Oh, I did it!" Rah! And then it quiets down, and then you hear them you hear fighting again moments later.
Here's the other thing. If I was to challenge the big fella and win, then what? We just say, okay, well now I've won and some of your goons have to come back to the train with us. Not sure.
They're sort of pack beast-ish people, though.
Not sure
Kill
they
big
would
guy, you're
go for that,
you're
though.
new leader. They'll be cowed by your martial prowess.
Tell them there's some good things to eat over this way.
They've already been over that way. I think they would have
They
eaten all
probably-
the good stuff. Potentially true.
What was the memory capacity of an orc?
Do a recall knowledge nature check.
Better roll well.
I can't remember.
That's a 10 total. So what were you trying to figure out?
Are orcs good at remembering
Doing the memory stuff.
directions, familiar landscapes, things of that nature? Or would they happily go the same direction they just came and not even notice?
I mean, they do have a sense of direction, especially the older orcs, the more, the leaders. But compared to humans or other races, for instance, it is less. They are very much instinct oriented, and they keep moving in one direction.
So, while they may remember, because it was like a matter of hours ago, they might not be inclined to go that direction. Just because they're going the other direction. Alright, final question. If I die, who is bringing me back to life? Pretty sure I'm the one who does that.
Good point.
Can't do like the
Yeah.
stealthy heal? Kind of thing?
What now?
Stealthy heal? No?
Selfie heal?
I mean, I can, but not once I'm unconscious.
Make a good point. Maybe this endeavor is not meant to be.
Maybe we're thinking of it in the wrong way. So orcs are used to fighting other humanoids. They're very adept at axe to the face kind of thing. What would they do against fighting something, say, like a flying horse? Would the surprise and novelty of it compel them to fight in a subpar manner? Would a horse challenging an orc to a duel be such a mind-shattering event that they might just give up?
Just breaks their psyche. Oh my gosh. It's
So
a
we're
horse
just
that
going for-
flies.
Sheer confusion. I I do like that idea.
Just a thought.
You get a firm shake of the head from the horse you were referring to.
All right, so solid idea, Jed, but I don't think the horse is into it.
Just spitballing here.
All right, last idea. What's the range on your pistols, Jed? Could we maybe try and pick off one or two?
Yeah. What's the
You
capacity of your
even-
pistols, Jed? Can you even take out half of them before they start swarming us?
Oh, I
that
meant
enough?
like just pick off one or two, then fade into the background so they don't find us, and then they move on because their strength is important to them and they won't be inclined to wait for a wounded comrade. Not
Associate.
sure if
Well,
they're-
I mean,
I think that may
it's-
be too advanced a term as well.
I mean, the range
That
band
guy
is-
over there.
on it is 40 feet. I think the max range is what, like 3x that or something?
Well, how close do you want to get?
Does the difficulty to hit on those get
Yeah.
higher?
drops-
The
I think it's like making your second and third attack, isn't it?
Yeah. Let me see
Like
here.
-3 or whatever.
It's a -5 and then a -10.
Oh god.
what I was meaning is like the longer the distance, does it get more difficult to hit? Right.
Yeah, I
Seems like
think
it
it's
would.
I think it's the
Okay.
same.
Oh, if we only had someone who was an expert in Pathfinder 2E in the chat, it would be awesome, but we don't. So, yes, I'm going to say
You don't know.
double the distance. It's -5 to hit. Quadruple the distance. It's -10 to hit.
I'm just gonna take a look.
That's the wrong.
All right, here's what we're gonna do. I am going to ask the chat. Do I challenge the big orc
Oh,
or do I not? Let's see how much my friends like me.
That's pretty good.
What's stopping us from all challenging the big orc?
I don't know if they've.
And I actually say this in
Oh.
character.
Finally decided to join the conversation. I mean, we can try. Maybe they're more single combat types, but oh, I can't believe we didn't think of that. Maybe we should flee back to the train.
Yeah, I guess you do really have to reevaluate yourself if the smartest idea is coming from a talking horse.
I mean,
Life
if you're a
decisions.
horse that can talk, you must be intelligent. I think you looked at it the wrong way.
I'm sitting at a +0.
all right. Time's moving along, so we're going to say another half an hour goes by.
We've been just sitting in the desert arguing for 30
Okay,
minutes.
it's -2 for each range increment you go up. So -2 for 80 or 60 feet, and -4 for 80 feet.
Range increment is 40 feet, so it would be -2 for 80 feet. Right?
Well, I think my flintlock pistol isn't.
Well, that's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at
Is
your
it?
flintlock pistol, and it says range
40,
increment
80,
40
120.
feet.
Okay, so
Where
it'd be
is it?
-2 at 80 and -4 at 120. Not so bad. Not the worst. We could do all the above. I could start shooting and you guys just run in there and start stabbing. And hope that we can, like,
I mean, there are 24 of them. So I think, all right, let's put it to a vote. 5 fight or go back to the train and live to fight another day? Who's for fight? Kind of hesitantly raise my hand.
Nay.
I'll put a wing up.
Split decision.
Damn it.
Should have brought that Duke or whoever it was on the train and the other guy with us.
Oh yeah. Might be hard to convince them to do such menial work though.
Here's my
Goblins.
only problem from an out of character standpoint. We've now spent all this time talking about it. If we just walk back to the train, feels like wasted effort. Like we came out here for absolutely nothing and just shot the shit in the desert.
Are you familiar
Well,
with
we only have another hour and a half before we have to walk back anyway.
I mean, if we fight, it's going to be over one way or the other pretty quickly.
Right.
In the essence of time management, let's just charge in. I don't know. I feel like Belgux, you're a goblin, right?
of a sorts? Yes.
So you should be able to gel with the rest of the crowd, right?
I could probably convince them not to kill me on sight. Yes.
Yeah,
Parlay.
that's a good start.
To what end, though? I mean,
I feel like
if we're making a deal, is the deal all right? Will you send some of your fellows back to the train with us so we can sell them for money?
I think if
Yeah.
we can't capture orcs, can we at least find the dice?
Pony,
figure-
I don't
Or the
suppose
dice
you
like
saw
that?
any dice
Or
while
dice
you were
magic?
over there.
I already answered that question.
Doesn't mean I remember.
It's got to be somewhere in this camp, though. I can't imagine they'd be just like.
It
not
really doesn't.
being-
They really don't have to be in this camp.
Right, weren't they like on someone who got thrown off the train?
There's
Like,
there's a possibility that that was the case.
Well, I figure if they're not dead, they probably would have regrouped with these other orcs.
Did
and
you
goblins.
guys even negotiate a reward for the dice? What happened if she gives you 1 gold?
Well, I figure if we have the dice, then we can negotiate.
Yeah, we just don't give them back.
Exactly.
All
What
right.
would Suna do?
I mean, Suna would charge in and kill the orcs. But, you know, she had a flaming
Well,
sword and
so-
things
sound-
like that were easier for her.
I mean, it sounds like we've got a plan then.
If I was a
Charge-
teenage girl with a flaming sword, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
Okay, I'm in the fight category, I think now.
Oh, wonderful. All right. Cool. This will be a short adventure potentially, but let's go for it. Let's go
Two
fight some
episodes.
orcs.
Well, we
I'm
should
gonna
at
hang
least
back
try to
And
Get
just watch
in.
them get themselves killed.
and talk to the big guy and be like, "Hey, we want to fight you."
You heard of your prowess from over there?
Do you think you're strong enough to take on the 4 of us?
Well, I think Belgux just said it was the 3 of us. He's gonna hang back.
You are not a team player.
No.
What if the pony
No, I'm
gets
not.
killed, Belgux? Then you did a terrible job.
I'll have to risk it.
You gotta risk it for the biscuit.
I can't
That's
I
what I
can't
always
get
say.
that at full health. I can fly, so kind of needed to get injured.
All right. Well, before we do anything else, I would like to do. What is it? Treat wounds to get myself back up to full health before we go in here. How does that work? I think it's a medicine check, but I don't know what I get if I pass.
Oh.
And consulting the Pathfinder Bible.
Critical failure, target takes 1d8 damage. Success, the target regains 2d8 hit points and its wounded condition is removed. Critical success, target regains 4d8 hit points and its wounded condition is removed.
Okay, what's like the DC?
The medicine check DC is usually 15, though the GM might adjust it based on the circumstances, such as treating a patient outside in a storm, so on and so forth. So if you click on your actions button and then click on exploration, your treat wounds are right there.
Oh, okay.
I think that you can potentially kill yourself with medicine.
Well, I mean, that's pretty accurate, if done poorly.
Take too much, take too little, take the wrong thing, even take the right thing. Maybe you're allergic.
That's true.
All right. Okay, if we're doing this, I am gonna treat wounds on myself.
I think Belgex is the only other one not at full HP.
He's not participating.
Yeah, I
so-
wonder how that happened. So
And I failed. So what's just a regular old normal failure? Just nothing happens?
I guess nothing happens because it only lists critical failure, success, and critical success. So
Fantastic.
you
Really?
you,
There was no
you do nothing.
normal success?
Was
No,
a
there
nor- that
is.
was a
It's
normal
just
failure.
a normal success would be hitting 15 or higher.
Oh.
Critical success would be hitting 20. Crit fail would be hitting a 1.
You stab yourself in the hand.
Son of a bitch. I'm rusty. Okay.
Well, hopefully the knife isn't rusty.
You've got tetanus.
That would have been the critical failure. Okay, we need to stop fucking around and either do this or head back. If things start going south, I will heal myself in combat. Well, our group minus Goblin, are we ready? And who's going to do the talking? I'm moderately okay to not very good in challenging people via intimidation.
Hold on. I gotta look at this. Okay. Well, if we're going purely on stats, I do have a +5 in intimidation.
All right.
There we go.
Okay. Talking pony challenges the big fella. And let's see what happens. This should go great. I mean, challenges maybe the big guy.
You're muted, Swamp Swimmer. We're not hearing you.
I wonder how long he's been talking for.
I don't know.
Uh-oh.
It's a good question.
All
I
right.
hope it wasn't anything important.
So here's the plan. You challenged the big guy, and
Can you hear me now?
Watch.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
You
there. Sorry.
challenge the big guy and 2 of his companions to fight the 3 of us. We
Just the
kill
big guy.
them. Well,
Just the big guy.
first, let's go with that. If that doesn't work, start adding other companions. We kill them. And then after, if we win, all the other orcs have to move on. And what we will do is, while they are seemingly dead, but in fact only unconscious, I will stabilize them, and we bring them back to the train unconscious. Finally, a brilliant plan.
You get a skeptical
over.
look.
So tell me what you do. Who goes over the rise first? Definitely another half an hour has passed.
Fuck. All right,
We
well,
only have
better
an
make
hour
it
to do
quick.
this.
Let's make it quick.
So who goes first?
I think we all walk together.
Yeah.
Walk over side by side.
3 of you silhouette upon the rise. When you go over the rise, you see a few things. First off, they're still fighting in the circle. 2 different opponents are in the middle of the circle now than were before.
Have any of them died? Are there on like 22 of them now, maybe?
Not that you can notice.
It's worth a shot.
As you crest the hill, you notice that the first ones to spot you are the 3 goblins. And I don't know how to describe this better, but as they see you, they both stand up from the log and kind of like, as if the sand underneath their feet was a cloak, they pick up the sand, throw it over themselves, and they're gone.
Huh. There's something you don't see every day.
Interesting.
Or at
A
all.
A few
That's the
moments
case,
later, the big orc sees the 3 of you on the rise of the hill, and you hear him yell, "It's a stop!" And they stop fighting, and you see the circle of orcs kind of turn more into a horseshoe facing towards you. And you see the big orc pick up his axe.
This is gonna go great.
Yep. Well, so we could hear him yell stop.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody want to shout challenge? Just the word challenge.
Yeah, sure. I'll just yell it out. Challenge! I just point right at him, too.
Greetings, heathens. Do you have a moment to talk about Suna? I don't actually say that.
Are you one with Suna? You want to sit down and talk?
Have you heard the good news?
At least one other member of the party has.
When you say challenge, you hear like all the other orcs go quiet, and all of a sudden they're like, "Oh, oh, 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 oh," and they start chanting like, "Ah!" And you see the big orc look at you, look at the 3 of you, look back at all the other orcs, and he picks up his axe and he points it at Carlin.
All right.
He does want to hear the good news.
Perfect. Perfect.
And with that, he takes his axe and he moves into the center of the horseshoe of guys, and he throws the axe into the sand. It sticks into the sand. And then he walks forward a little more, and you see him punch his fists together and crack his knuckles.
I draw my sword but I don't throw it down on the ground.
Well, I think we need to walk forward as well. Like,
Yeah, you're
are
still
we actually
50 feet away.
We're a ways away. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're a little ways away.
He can run at us, and then we'll all kill him together.
Oh man, I just want to say, I'm just gonna free insight check to all of you. If you fight him with weapons, they will all get mad and all attack you.
All right, it's a gentleman's duel.
And
That's bad for me.
Belgux, are you still behind the rise, behind the hill?
I'm gonna sneak up to observe, intervene if needed, but
Give me a perception check.
perception. I'm not sure what goes to perception check.
You're at a +3. It's on the
oh,
left
that
hand
It's on
side.
the left hand side.
I got it. Yeah, not great.
Can I do a recall knowledge to see how in like orcish society using magic during something like this is generally perceived? Like if I heal myself?
Hey, we've got. Oh, okay. I was gonna say
Okay,
we've got nothing
yeah.
to do with the goblin on the ridge.
Give me a society check. It's an 11. You definitely know that in orc culture, magic is a special sign. Like the person who can wield magic is a special person. And
So,
that
okay.
and it's like a magic wielder is like a mystic, like is knowledgeable and should be followed.
Interesting.
You don't know quite how you really can't. You have no experience with orcs where you would cast a spell and you know this is how they'd react. You don't know. You just don't know. But you know, magic is like a mystical and dangerous and powerful effect that individuals can have.
Okay. Doesn't really help.
Well, you only rolled an 11. What do you want from me?
Yeah, I know. Okay, I'm gonna do two things.
Oh, and back to what I was saying before. Belgux, as you're kind of peeking over this rise, looking at the three of them, kind of a few feet past the top of the rise, you hear a voice from over your shoulder. And it says, "Hey, you from the Sand Village?" And you turn around and it's the three goblins that were there before.
I will note that I did forget to mention the three goblins.
Oh, well,
when I was reiterating
three
everything.
goblins show up, Belgux. And they wait for a second and then all of a sudden they're like, "God damn, you stink."
That's saying something from a goblin.
Where did you come from?
Come from the west. You're
But you
on our way
can.
north.
Oh, healing.
Oh, we come from the east. We come from the east.
Chris Martinez in the chat, thank you for joining us. Blind them with science, dazzle them with magic.
Okay, I am casting heal to bring myself to not full HP,
But close.
but -1.
Belgux, how do you respond to the goblins?
They asked if I'm the same people. It's like, well, Yeah.
They asked if you're from the sand town.
I'm not. I am from the Eastern City.
You're not from the Sand Village. Eastern City. What kind of goblin are you? Are you with these people? These humans and this Pegasus?
I got a job to return this, to capture this Pegasus. That's why I'm out here. I could use some help.
Ooh. How much you gonna make if you capture the Pegasus?
Gotta take it north. So, right now it's almost a lost cause. But they're gonna give me 25 gold if I'm able to make it back. But I'm happy to split it with you if you can help me capture it.
Give me a. What would this be? Deception. All right, hold on 1 second. Um, 25 gold, you say? Ooh. That must be one broke ass Pegasus then, because 25 gold's nothing.
Broke ass Pegasus. Not a phrase I've ever heard before.
I mean, hey, the goblin's not wrong. The Pegasus is broke.
Let's jump over to the three confronting the warriors. Carlin, what do you do?
I guess I will sheath my longsword. I don't suppose this fella has like a shield or anything.
Nope, he does not.
All right, well, I guess that means I have to unequip that. Lovely. Yeah, I mean, I will walk towards him.
I think we're all walking towards him, right?
As you walk closer, the chanting becomes louder and louder. Oh, 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 oh. And then the goblins next to Belgux, he says, "Man, oh man, your buddy's gonna get beat. That's war boss Iron Chin. He's not too friendly of a fellow. Is your friend a good fighter?"
We're about to find out.
Remains to be seen.
Well, what's your name, Goblin? From the Eastern City, what's your name?
Belgux.
Well, Belgux, I'll tell you what, I can help you out for a price. I know how to beat Iron Chin.
Oh, some secret to that, even for my
He's like
colleague there.
He's a new war boss. He's not that great yet, and he has a, how do we say, an Achilles heel, if you put it that way.
Hmm.
Is it literally his heel?
Well,
I can try.
all
Start
this little piece of information will cost you is 5 gold.
5 gold.
Do any of us have any money left?
Promises.
Some do.
5 gold. What will happen when they beat the war boss, what will the other orcs do? Will they follow his leadership, or
Oh, once a war boss is beat, they'll disperse and then they'll choose a new boss, but that won't happen for a while.
the choosing of the new boss? But they
Yeah.
will all run away.
Yeah.
And what will become of him if he loses?
You'll die.
Oh. Hmm. I don't have much gold left. I'm getting to pay. I can give you 3 gold for the information. We're running out of time to get it to him.
Yeah, they're almost at each other's throats here. Give me one last diplomacy check.
Diplomacy. Yeah, not my strongest suit.
No.
Oh, okay, that's not so bad. That's respectable.
He looks over at them closing in on the fight, and he's like, 3 gold will do. Put it here. He puts his hand out.
I hold the gold. I'll hand over. What's the information? Hold the
Quickly.
coins in my hand.
Gold first, my friend.
Disappears into the sand.
I'm not gonna run, but I need the information. Where am I gonna run to? I'm afraid you're just gonna take it and disappear into the sand.
Yeah, I probably will once I give you the information, but, all right. He sits down and kind of puts his chin in his hand. He looks off at the distance and watching Carlin approach the war boss. Carlin, you get to be within
Yes,
range
sir.
of him. I need you to roll initiative,
Oh boy.
which would be a perception roll. We're doing this kind of off the books. Let's see if I can do this correctly.
So we're not all fighting him at the same time? It's one-on-one?
One-on-one.
You can
Fair
choose
enough.
to attack him if you want, but it probably won't end well.
So
I'm gonna hang back.
the initiative. I need to be able to select my token. I can just do a
Oh, hold on. Give me a second here. I can make
D20
this.
plus 6.
I can make this work. Hold on one second. Carlin. Boink. There is your token.
Oh boy.
And then there is Orc War Boss. And then I'm gonna add you to the combat. There we go. I'm just gonna roll initiative for you. Oh, you did it. There we go. Cool. It did it for you. I'm gonna roll his initiative. As you step forward, you see the orc hesitate for a half second, and you get to go first.
Okay. I am within, like, I'm right up next to him.
Yep, you are right next to him.
Okay. Unarmed strike. That is an 11.
That does not hit.
You don't say. All right. We're gonna go with another unarmed strike.
Ooh. This is at -5, so that goes down. That does not hit either.
includes
Oh, that includes
the
it?
penalty.
Hold
Yeah.
on one second. Okay, that does hit.
Cool.
And isn't it just -4, not -5?
Yeah, that's all in there.
With unarmed guys is yeah.
strength trained. I rolled a 14 on the dice, so that's a dirty 20 minus 4 means a 16. And I did 6 damage.
6 damage.
Plus strength.
As you step up, you just, with your right arm, you reach down real low and uppercut him right in the chin. And his head whips back. And his head's back, and then he just slowly rolls it forward. And he's like, and he swings, turns it around.
I still have one more action.
You have one
Thank
more
you very
action.
much.
You do. Go ahead.
I will shout in his face, "Filthy heathen!" And I am going to cast Shield.
Okay.
The cantrip.
Field. So the cantrip does shield.
+1 circumstance bonus to
To your
my
AC.
until the start of my next turn. Doesn't require a hand to use. While
And
the
you
spell in effect, can use the shield block reaction.
Okay, and yeah, it takes away damage.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, so then with his attack, he says, and he swings back with his arm. What's your AC?
17. Well, actually, it's an 18 with the shield.
He hits. He crits.
Fuck.
This is that's not right. What? He does 10 points of damage.
Bummer.
Oh no, but and then you do the shield block also, so that takes away
Well,
with a hardness of 5, so it is 5 points of damage.
That's if he does the shield
that's if
block.
I choose to use the shield block reaction. Given that I know he crit, yes, I'm going to use shield block. That makes me drop the shield, and then I can't use it again for 10 minutes,
Mm-hmm.
which is unfortunate. But yes, I'm going to use the shield block reaction.
It's you raise your magical shield with your left arm. You see it like the magic literally shatter as it like hits you super hard, and you hear all the orcs yell out with excitement. Belgux, back to you. So what you gonna do now? Your boy's getting a little beat up.
It'll be alright, but
Hey, I did more damage that turn.
I'll have to, I'll take a leap of faith then. I'll pay first for the information, but I can cast spell should I be displeased.
Yeah, sure. Hand over the money.
Alright, I'll hand over 3 gold.
You hand over 3 gold. Please take 3 gold out of your inventory.
Working on it.
And he says, well, my friend, Iron Chin over there, he's got a bum knee. You see on his right leg, on his right knee, that's an old war injury. You hit that right in his knee and his kneecap hard enough, he'll crumble.
Alright. Target the right knee. We have a fair bargain.
Yep, pleasure doing business with you, Belgux. Next time you make it to Sandtown, tell him Sizzix sent you.
Physics.
See you later. And he
Yeah.
kind of just
Alright. I'm gonna rush over the rise and yell out to Carlin to target the right knee. In common.
is that what do you say exactly? Give me a little acting here.
Ah. Time. Target his weak point. His right knee. Take it out. It's your only chance.
Well, I wouldn't say it's my only chance, but much appreciated.
Okay, it is now your turn,
Does
Carlin.
no
What
one
would you like?
believe in me?
I believe in you, says the orc.
Well, thank you. And I'm gonna punch him in the face.
What?
In the face and not
In the
knee?
face? He
No,
just told
I
you to
mean,
punch him in the knee.
I'm just kidding. It just seemed like an appropriate response to "I believe in you." But yes, I am gonna go for the leg.
Okay, roll for an attack. An unarmed attack, obviously.
That's a 21.
21. You
Oh,
hit. You
shit.
hit. Roll damage. Not a crit, but you definitely hit.
Another 6.
As you hit him in the knee, you hear his knee. You kind of reach down and like do like a hook into his side of his knee. You hit it, and you feel it move slightly. So it's his right knee slightly to his right, so that away from his body, and you hear it move and just a little bit. You hear like, and he tries to put his weight on his right leg, and it collapses underneath him, and he falls over. The odd thing is, he doesn't scream out in pain.
It's a fake leg.
He could very easily be too stupid for that.
You have 2 more actions. What would you like to do?
Let's see here.
Keep working that knee. Treat it like you're in a butcher shop training, hitting meat.
Rip his leg off.
Do some Rocky
I mean-
action. Work the body.
Yeah,
Work the body.
except it's the knee, right? Work the knee.
Trying to decide if more obvious, like offensive magic, would go over poorly with the crowd here. I don't know. Maybe we'll get to that if things start getting dire. I will make another unarmed strike against the knee. This
Curb
one-
stomp, curb stomp, curb stomp.
Or no curbs.
Right,
And-
right on the knee.
An unarmed attack. There's no stomp attack here either, unfortunately. Or
No.
that's what I would be going
But
for.
he is now prone, so he is -2 to his AC.
Sweet. I will take it.
Oh, nice roll.
Oh,
Ooh.
nice.
That hits. It does not crit, but that is a hit.
You can feel that.
Sweet.
Did you roll damage?
No. Duh. Getting way ahead of myself.
Woo, big ol' 4
Another
damage.
4.
Where do you hit him this time?
In the knee
the-
again.
The knee.
In the knee again. The way, just working the knee. You hear him like rage out this time. He's not raging. He's not yelling out from pain. He's like angry.
I mean, it's fine.
All right, and you have 1 more action.
I am going to take.
I would also
Hang on
take a look at like the general actions you could take. One of them's like defend yourself, and there's a few of them in there. Take a moment to look at those,
Defense is for quitters.
because this next attack will be at -10.
-8 because.
Oh, yeah, -8,
unarmed
sorry,
is agile,
-8.
But point taken. Here's what I'm gonna do. Being that he's on the ground with like a real fucked up leg, his speed would have to be reduced. I'm going to back off like 10 feet.
Okay.
Let's make it 15 in case he's got like a 25-foot speed and can't make it to me.
All right, in his turn, he stands up. First of all, how do I take this off? Is that? Oh, cool. That's interesting. He stands up, which is an action. He moves. His current move speed is... Where are you? Speed, there it is, 25. But he is hobbled, which I think is one of the conditions I can add on to him. Blinded, broke, clumsy, concealed, confused, dreamed. Encumbered? Let's call him encumbered. So he moves twice to get within range of you again, but does not have another action to attack.
Just walking right into it. My fists of fury.
He does yell and scream though.
Yeah,
just
of course.
right now it's
always a reaction.
Now it's like incomprehensible growling.
Okay, well, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna scream out, "Suna, guide me!" And I'm going to cast guidance for a +1 to this attack roll.
Okay. And also, let me point out here, you do have heroic points to use.
Yeah, I only want to use those if things start going really poorly.
Yeah.
Well, actually, hold on one second. Okay, I get +1 bonus to 1 attack roll, blah, 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 a bunch of other things before the duration ends. So I'm actually going to do the first one normally, and then use it on my second attack.
Okay. $18 hits. 6 damage. Okay, when you hit him this time,
all day.
when you hit him this time, also I neglected to describe this, but his right leg is not working now, so he's hopping on one leg toward you, and then the leg's kind of dragging behind him. This time you punch him in the head, and you see him like viscerally react. He winces. And he slowly comes back to clear-eyed looking at you. And go ahead and do your last attack. This is at -4.
The old 1-2 punch.
Yep.
But I am going to cash in guidance on this one.
So it's -3.
I will put in just a circumstance modifier. So it will be included in the roll.
Okay. That is not enough.
Bummer. All right.
All right, so now it's his turn. He is going to attempt to lunge at you and grapple you. So I need you to give me a fortitude saving throw.
Well, that just so happens I am an expert at fortitude saving throws, fella.
Oh, 22. He attempts to grab you, and you basically rebuff him. He tries to wrap his arms around at you, and you like the bear hug you. And you basically flex out your armor, and it pinches him, and he's like, damn it! And he backs off, and then he attempts to attack you. What's your AC?
17.
He hits you, and he does 6 damage.
Okay.
And his last attack, he's at -4 this time. Oh no! Natural 20!
Oh.
He does 12 damage to you.
Well, shit.
What does that put you at?
0. Dying 1, I believe is the term.
He punches you once in the stomach, the air gets knocked out of you, and then he comes around with his right, clocks you right in the side of the head, and you start seeing stars. You are not going to go into dying 1. You are just unconscious. Because this is unarmed, intentionally non-lethal combat.
Okay.
With that, there's a large yell from the orcs that surround everyone. What would Octavia and Jed like to do?
I mean, I'll step up. Because why the hell not?
Be my second.
Great.
Yeah.
What do you do to step up? Like, how do you challenge him?
So I think ideally I'd like to like fly up into the air and then like come straight down over Carlin's body and like land right there.
Okay.
And
He
turn around and kick him. Can I get a surprise attack for that?
let me do one thing here. Perception. No, it is not a surprise attack. He is
Alright.
surprised that this is happening, but he kind of raises his hand up and he do that. So go ahead and give me an attack roll.
Okay. Should be +7. Uh, 11.
That is not enough. Your movement to the spot was your first action. That was your second action. You have a third action now.
Do it again.
Okay, minus
Switch over to
4.
my dice.
Minus 4.
Yep. So +3 then.
Oh no.
I rolled a 4 last time and I rolled a 5 this time, so I missed both.
Whew. With that, now the orc turns to you, screams out again, and he's going to attempt to grapple you. Give me a fortitude saving throw.
Can it be reflexes?
Yeah, I can.
Okay. That's great. Okay, so that was a 12 on the dice, which turns into a 21.
Ooh, nice. And he is unsuccessful. You slip out from underneath his bear hug, and then he attacks you normally.
Okay.
What's your AC?
18, although I do want to read one thing real quick. Where is that located? I can never remember. There it is. Okay. Or, no, it is in here. Okay, yeah. Yeah, for now, 18.
All right, that hits.
Aha.
And it does 6 points of damage.
Okay. Fuck.
And then he goes for a second attack. Oh boy. This
I have a 20 AC this time. I'm
Yep.
going to be using my nimble dodge.
that misses. All right, so it's your turn again.
Okay. Well, I guess we're gonna go back to ye ol' attack. Alrighty, that's better.
That definitely hits.
That's 26.
Yeah, that definitely hits.
All right, and then my damage is 1d4. That is a 4. So 5 damage to his knee.
Again, you hear another just like sounds like breaking twigs on a tree. And this time it becomes a compound fracture. The bone breaks through his skin. And you hear him scream out
I mean,
in
that's
pain.
what happens when you get kicked by a horse.
Yeah. And he falls over this time. Like he's yelling, and then he kind of slowly falls asleep and he passes out from the pain.
All right. Well, that's that.
With a shout and a yell, all the other orcs go silent and they look at Octavia, this mini Pegasus, just knocked out their war boss. And give me a second here. Surprisingly, only a handful of them start running away. There are still 15 of them left.
Oh. What is their disposition?
You don't know. They're just kind of sitting there looking at you, not yelling.
Let me know at what point I regain my consciousness.
Someone's got to help you out. Someone's got to help you.
I'm gonna run over towards the orcs and be like, wow, did you see that? That was amazing. What a mighty and powerful flying horse that was. Wow, such strength and battle prowess. Wow, that was something.
Give me a persuasion check.
Persuasion?
Is there? I don't even know
that?
what.
Diplomacy or
Diplomacy.
performance?
Let's
Or
do performance. Performance is a much better one.
Oh, performance. No, it's not.
You rolled exactly
You
the same,
rolled exactly the same number.
which in and of itself is really
Three left.
impressive.
That is amazing.
Well, maybe they're easily amused.
When you go up and you say that, all of them turn and look at you. And 3 more leave, start running away. So
It's the
there,
worst acting I've ever seen.
so now there are 12 left.
Okay. Let's just see how this goes. So I'm gonna point at the 3 closest orcs
Mm-hmm.
to us. And then I'm going to point to the big boss and say, pick him up.
I guess that would be
Would you like me to make?
intimidation. Intimidation check there.
I can do intimidation.
You're actually good at this.
That's
Because
a dirty
nothing
20.
is more intimidating than a pony with wings.
What did you roll on
Talking.
that?
No, dirty 20, but
What did I just roll? Ooh, very close. They hesitate. They look at you for a second. And they're like, "Okay," and three of them go and pick up the Iron Chin.
okay, I didn't quite expect that to work. So,
I didn't have a step 2.
I kind of didn't. Like, the idea is that they're going to carry the big guy and then the three of them as well back to the train with us. I'm going to point to another one, and I'm going to say, and then I'm going to point to Carlin and say, pick him up.
Thank you.
They're already broken now, so they comply.
Awesome. And then I'm going to turn to the rest of the party and say, let's go.
What an odd sight. A Pegasus leading a band of orcs carrying a warrior priest of Suna and an iron orc, basically.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, basically.
it.
So okay,
great.
so here's the question: how many of them are actually following? Like, I expect the 4 that I specifically directed are following me.
Mm-hmm.
How many of the rest of them are following?
The rest are following. 12 of them in total.
Oh. Alrighty then.
It's going better than I thought.
We're heading back to the train.
All right. Yeah,
Can I-
give
can I
me.
search around for dice.
I will be right back.
Sure. Do you want to search the? Who do you want to search?
Anything I can. Ground.
Give me
pockets.
an. Yeah, a perception check, I guess, is the best one. Oh!
Damn it.
Okay, I will ask about the dice.
You can use a heroic point if you like on that one, remember.
Sure, why not?
First heroic point used. Much
there you go.
better.
Sure.
Much better.
22.
Okay.
You search through everything. The orcs, basically all they have are loincloths and crude weapons. The Iron Chin, you search through him, you find he has no money on him. You do find what adds up to basically one set of plate armor, but it has inscriptions from multiple different, as I said, multiple different societies, and you can tell it's high quality, even though in its crude fashion, the way it was joined together, it's high quality armor. But you, beyond that, you can't tell anything else. You do not find dice.
Damn it. Alright.
Does anyone want to help out Carlin, maybe?
He's just unconscious, right? He's not, like, dead.
He is not dead, he's just unconscious.
He just got knocked out.
I'm
Yeah,
not
definitely.
dead yet.
Yeah, let's make sure he's not dead. Let's, like, splash some water on his face and,
Well, Jed, you've got the highest medicine skill out of any of the rest of us who aren't unconscious.
Garland, We'll save you, man.
Just slap him awake. Smelling
Breathe,
salt.
damn you, breathe.
I can't live without you. And then you slap him on the chest as he's being carried by these orcs, and he kind of pops to consciousness.
Huh? Wait, what? And then
This
I'll
is-
look around.
This is very much of like, remember in Gladiator when he's like being hauled through the desert unconscious, and like he's imagining the desert floating by as he's being carried on the cart.
Yeah.
That's definitely your experience in waking up.
That I look around, I see the unconscious war boss, and I'm like, aha! I knew I would defeat him.
I've done it.
buddy.
Huzzah!
Or Suna.
Let's see. How much HP do I get back?
You get 1.
Not a doctor. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's okay. I am then going to does treat wounds cost? Is that time?
Is that a spell?
Spend 10 minutes. I see. Okay.
It's
all right,
been-
then I'm
It's been
It's
10
an
minutes if
action.
you want to do it. Yeah, if it's been 10 minutes if you want to try that again.
well, no, it takes 10 minutes to treat wounds.
Oh,
So instead, I will just burn another heal.
I mean, to be fair, it's going to take us an hour to get back. And you're currently being carried by an orc.
Well, yeah, I guess just
Like-
keep carrying me.
Yeah, like
Keep firing,
I-
assholes.
I wouldn't give up the ride.
It's just undignified, but it's fine. I'll stitch myself up while being carried. That seems smart.
all right. Give me that medicine check.
Fuck. All right,
a
so I
failure.
will burn a heal. And since we're not in combat, I can do a 2-action heal.
Yes.
Okay.
You actually do a 3-action heal, I think.
That's an AoE,
Oh.
so unless anybody else needs.
I
I
mean,
don't want to bring the war boss back to health.
oh, that's a good point.
Fight it again.
Oh,
All right,
nice.
full HP.
17. Bam. As you
Ah,
do
well,
this,
gentlemen, you can put me down now. Thank you.
you can see the awe and shock of the orcs as you do this right next to them. They can they see the glowing light come from your hands as you do the heal spell, and they're perplexed and awed by you.
I say under my breath, well, Suna, you let me down on that one, but I still love you.
Can I hear that?
Yes,
Can
you
I
can.
hear that?
You can definitely hear that.
I'll say, no, she didn't.
That was a private
that's-
conversation. Thank you.
As you draw back to the train, you see Brongus has done significant work to the rails. He's just about done. He's still humming the same song. Oh, Iron Road, oh, take me home
Got that for 4 hours.
to the place where I belong. The blasted plain. The
Oh, man,
cracked
look at-
lands. You're the best. And you see, everyone's cleared out. Everyone's in the train. You can't see anyone there.
Because he's been singing John Denver for 4 hours.
They're probably all in the back of the train, even, just to make sure they can't hear him.
Is there a sanity attribute in
It's just-
Pathfinder 2?
I
There
don't know,
it is
but
now.
there is now. There really is now.
Just fortitude saves all day. Or will, I guess.
So, do one of you guys want to go get the conductor?
Sure, I'll jaunt over there. Plug my ears.
Since
Hey, boss, we did it. Success.
You see the conductor peek his head out of the train car, and he says, "Oh, well done. Oh man, what is that? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 12? 12 orcs?
Oh yeah.
Oh, at this point, I will also use the cantrip Stabilize on... Well, I mean, the other guy's alive too anyway, right?
yeah, I don't think stabilization is necessary.
Yeah, because it brings you to unconscious at 0 hit points.
Yeah, but
there.
he's already there because he did unarmed combat.
So, 13 orcs.
13
Well,
orcs. You're right.
when-
13.
When he gets out here, I'm gonna try and argue for more for the big guy. I mean, he is quite a bit bigger.
He comes out and he says, "Okay, guys. All you need to do is head down to the second to last train car. That's a slave car. There are shackles down there, and just get them into the train car. And I'll pay you 13 times 5 is 65 gold.
The what car?
The second to last train car."
Called
I'm-
what again?
I'll walk up to him, and I kind of feel like I want this to be an intimidation, but we'll see what you think. I just want to say, I think the big guy's worth a bit more.
Give me an intimidation roll.
All right. I mean, again, what's more intimidating than a tiny horse walking up to you and then speaking?
You should have said, I killed him. I think he's worth more. That's intimidation. A tiny horse that killed a giant orc. Or
I mean,
beat.
that'll be 19.
Pretty good.
As you walk up to him, you saunter up to him like in a western. Like, I think this one's worth more.
How does a horse saunter?
Oh,
like a
horses can
Western?
horses can saunter. Thank you very much.
You
Well,
kinda
I
look-
know they can, but like I'm trying to, cause like the way I imagine like sauntering up in a western is because they're bow-legged because they've been riding horses all day. A horse wouldn't be bow-legged. Like how?
Yeah, but like
I-
it's exaggerating its movements as it's taking its
I-
step.
reasonable, but okay.
And you say
Oh.
this one's worth more. As you do this, he not takes out, but like the staff he is carrying, which is basically as tall as him, and basically instead of the head of the staff is basically like a robust tuning fork, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And he hits it on the ground, and you hear as he hits it, like there's just a little spark that goes up into the tuning fork and up into the air. And he says, "By the laws of Asheruk, we had a deal. 5 gold per head."
It's a flat rate.
Clearly has some sort of magic.
Once again, the slave car is the
Yeah.
second to last train car.
Yeah, I'm not inclined to mess with that right now. Not inclined to mess with that right now.
At this point,
These aren't the droids you're looking for. Move along.
as some of the orcs are starting to understand what's happening now. and there are 12 of them that are conscious. 5 of them turn and run.
Did we get the money already?
Nope.
No.
I'm gonna encourage the rest to run too.
Why?
Because this is not what we signed up for. We captured orcs for war crimes, not for enslavement.
They
Hey,
did
you-
war crimes.
You
Well,
guys,
no, Jed, we're not entirely aware of the customs and punishments of this land. I mean, in Sonstal, we would have just put them all to death, so you know what's worse.
well, that was our first plan, but I'm not down. I pull my musket from my pocket and put it in the air and just fire it off to scare them away.
Give me an intimidation check.
Can I roll an opposed intimidation check to keep them where they are?
No, this happens first. Then we can talk about what you want to do. That's a 16. And let me roll my dice here. Oh yeah. They drop the warlord, so the warlord's on the ground, and only 2 remain.
Run, you dummies! It's a trap.
Can I
Okay.
kick him? I kick him. I kick him.
Kick Jed.
Yeah, I kick him.
All right, do a roll unarmed attack.
Ah, it's a 5.
Do I get a reflex save?
You don't need it. I didn't hit. You have what? 14? Yeah. I don't hit. 5 plus 7.
This
Easy
turn,
there, partner.
this turned dark, but I should have seen it coming. All right.
I tell the 2 remaining to pick up the big guy and to head to the back of the train.
Damn. Let me see here.
I'm reloading.
Yeah, they do so.
I'm gonna turn to Jed and say, if they run, you're dragging him to the back of the train.
They need to run. It's for their own good.
Okay, so at this point, I want you both to roll an intimidation check, and we'll see who rolls higher.
Against each other?
Yep.
Alright.
Let me switch over to dice cam. 17.
Oh, damn it.
All right, so the 2 orcs successfully bring the war boss back to the train and get him in there. And remember the Turok guards, the half bull, half infernal dwarf, get them into the train car. And then at this point, the conductor looks at you and he says, "Well, I guess that's down to 15 gold. Here you go." And he holds out his hand with 15 gold.
I take it. I take it. I take all of it. I was gonna share, but somebody had to ruin it.
Buy yourself something nice.
All right, and at this point, this is now into morning. This is daytime. The conductor says, "We've got the tracks fixed. Everyone back in the train. If you want to make it to Nedzib, you have to get back in the train."
Can I get on the train?
Like on top of the train?
Like on top
Yeah, if you
of
want.
the train. That's what I'm gonna do.
Okay.
I don't really want to go back into a cage, and I feel like that's where I'm gonna go if I get in the train.
It's more comfortable inside.
Eh. Depends.
All right, so we are back on the train. You are back in the train car here. Let's see here.
As we're climbing back on the train, and I imagine Jed and Octavia are just kind of like glaring at each other. I'll kind of aside to Belgux and be like, well, apart from my glorious victory, I don't think that turned out well at all. We didn't make money and we had to capture slaves. Not sure I feel good about any of this.
Yeah.
Wait, who's gonna tell him?
Good luck convincing him.
Oops.
I mean, you did get him most of the way there, right? So
I didn't see anybody else beat him, so
Just gonna let him live his dream.
you're not wrong.
All right, so you are all back in the train car. Except for Octavia, you're on top of the train car. So I'm gonna put you.
I'm on top of the train.
It's gonna put you outside to the left here.
Reasonable.
And you walk up and you see Glugs at the bar. And I've been waiting to do this for the whole session. Wait. Cultures. Okay, you ready? Glug says,
"What can I get you to drink?"
Did that come through in a deep voice?
Wait, was there
No.
supposed to be a filter associated with that?
Damn it!
Because
It
there
didn't
wasn't.
work.
I
I'm
was
so
gonna say,
sad.
Glugs, your accent went away again.
Damn it!
How do you do that?
So right now there is no deep voice coming. Well, let me try this.
Nope. it's
Is there a
just,
deep voice coming through
normal.
now?
No.
Nope.
Damn it! All right, never mind. Well, he says, what can I get you guys?
Oh, apparently
maybe-
the stream heard it.
The
Yeah,
stream
maybe
heard
they
it.
own-
Whoa. Okay. Interesting.
All right.
Yeah.
It should be off now. Okay, on the stream I had a deep voice. Sorry. He says,
Somebody heard it.
That's the one who matters.
Yeah.
and he says, I just can't get enough of your love, baby. And
Thank you for taking the time to look up some Barry White. I appreciate that, Swamp Swimmer.
oh baby, no, he says, what can I get for you?
Are you still using the voice changer?
No,
'Cause
I'm not, but I'm trying to figure out if I can easily
Bridget said to
make you
keep
guys
using it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
It's
it the
more
whole
important
time.
for the stream to get it than for us. Like,
Okay.
keep
as long
using
as
it.
the dream
Here we
works,
go.
it's all good.
What can I get you to drink? I just can't get enough of your beverages, baby.
I just can't get you enough beverages.
So that's what he says. What you guys to do?
Can't remember if I have any money. I don't think I do.
Oh no, you're this is all the food and drink on the train is being paid for through the contract,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Our stipend.
A round of ales, Glugs, to celebrate my glorious victory over the orc war boss. You should have seen it. I
Right away,
challenged
sir.
him
Right
to
o-
single combat.
Right away, sir. I'm very, very impressed by you.
And he
I am impressive. So, thank you.
There's not a part of that statement that was correct. Jed issued the challenge. I get out the.
Well,
the
I
finishing
challenged
blow.
him by proxy because truly great warriors like myself don't issue challenges for themselves. But
Your herald.
yes, my
All right,
associate,
with that,
It's
with
my
that,
squire,
I find
as
it funny.
you
It's great.
as you say
It's
this to
great.
Glugs,
It's
that's
so in
going to be
character.
part of his personality, apparently.
Yeah.
as you say this to Glugs, the count down the bottom right. Actually, let me zoom in a little bit here. Hold on. There you go. It's a little better. The count on the right, the bottom right here says, "Oh, did I hear you? You defeated the warlord? Very interesting."
I did indeed. You
You
should
must
have
be-
seen it.
You must be a very good fighter.
You know it, buddy.
When
How
when you have a momentito, come and talk to me. I might have some work for you.
We'll talk, but let us first drink and celebrate.
Very good. Cheers to you, Carlin, the warlord's there. Ching!
I doff my helmet.
The only other person in this train car is, what was his name? Chaladastra, the dread elf dressed in extremely brightly colored, scaled leather armor. And he sits there, he glances over at you, but he continues to read his book.
Can I tell what he's reading from my vantage point on the train?
Give me a perception check.
And I rolled terribly.
It's a book. It's old. That's all you can really tell. Leather bound and old. Yeah.
I'm gonna approach him.
Okay. The Chaladastra.
Yes. I couldn't help but notice your ancient tome you're reading there. That's interesting cover. I don't see a whole lot of avid readers in these parts. But I inquire what manuscript you might be imparting in.
Are you familiar with the Binding of Demons?
Only in the most abstract of senses, you might say.
It's very dangerous work. I don't expect you to understand the gravity of it, but that's why I'm here.
I'm more curious about the motivation. What draws you to such a macabre topic?
Who are you and why do you care why I'm here?
Oh, just a traveling investigator on a small job of my own. Just passing some time. Seemed
Investigator.
like a studious, interesting type.
Give me a
curiosity.
Give me a perception check. $16. So when you say the word investigator, you see him immediately become stressed and tense. And then something very, very peculiar happens. You see him become stressed and nervous and start to shake a little bit. And then all of a sudden, his eyes roll back into his head for a moment, and then his eyes roll back and he's calm. and he says, "What did you say to me? Who are you?"
Well, I'm Jedediah Fletcher, investigator at large. And you seem to be quite enthralled in your demonology research there. Maybe a
Before
little too
before
enthralled.
you can even get into the second sentence, with a flash of movement, he pulls a dagger out of his hand and stabs you in the gut, and causes
Shit.
you 10 points of damage. He retracts the dagger and with lightning speed goes out the door.
I gotta change my hit points now. 8. Well, shit.
And with that, we will call it quits for this evening. It's a little bit early, but
And then I stab wound to the gut. End on a high note, always.
But I think that's
Yep.
a perfect end note to this session, is that he stabs you and runs away.
Every time.
Every freaking time. That is in the session. As always, what are we calling this episode? Previously, I thought it was going to be, what was the question, or where did the pony go?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I still
Yeah.
think that's
I
solid.
mean, I like it.
Good enough.
Yeah,
I
works
thought
for me.
any better.
Yeah, okay, so we'll use that. Thank you everyone watching in the chat. Again, please hit that subscribe button on YouTube. We're still trying to get Twitch to work. God damn it, I hate our Twitch. I need to buy a new computer, really, honestly. That's the actual answer. But we'll see you next week. Thank you for joining us. I had a great time. This adventure will continue. I've got like layers upon layers of story that we can go through. Thanks for watching. Any last comments, guys?
Thanks, everyone. See you
Thank
next
you
time.
to all
See you
my
next
friends in
week.
the chat. Glad to have you guys.
Yep.
And girls. See
Yeah.
y'all later.
Yep.
To my glorious victory.
Undefeated.